Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 2. This is episode 12.
C.
14.
14. We're no longer on the map.
14 and a half. No. 12 and 3 quarters. It's the next session. Part 2 of Ryan. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the show. After a quick break, and we left you all with Rhiv and Emrys standing the other side of the ward in a with a room that currently is occupied a female apparition-y wraith that has her hands out cupped like this, and she is looking down into her hands. There's also a pedestal in front of them with an empty stone bowl on top of it, and the whole room is covered in very small, intricate writing of a source that kind of reminds Emrys of something, but he can't quite get a grasp on the language.
I can't quite put a finger on it.
Over to you.
Before I do anything,
Somebody whispering in Riv's ear.
hang on. Is there any stains on, like, around the bowl? Hang on a minute. Around or on the bowl? Like,
Blood stains,
or
you mean.
otherwise?
Blood stains, clearly.
No.
You going to say?
Who?
Emrys, I believe.
Emrys, he was going to say something
No, no.
weird.
He was looking for blood stains. No, I was saying your conscience, Riv. Give her the key. You dirty, stinking thief. Give her the key.
You know, I don't really want to.
There's got to be some way back upstairs from down here. It's probably behind the cave-in.
Probably, but there's also a rope.
We could just climb out, yeah. Just because I'm kind of curious, I'm going to try and step back beyond the ward so I can be on the other side, just to make sure I can leave.
I think for a moment Ash was actually going to stop you from leaving, but I'm sure you can quickly wriggle with your contortion skill, especially past Ash's attempt to mockingly keep you in the room, and you actually managed to enter or exit through the ward back into the other room.
Okay, that's fine then.
However, in the meantime, I need a perception roll of Ash, Lumi, Traeth, and Andros. Andros, just roll me a D100.
What do you want me to roll?
A general perception.
If you didn't know what he wanted you to roll, you failed your general perception.
Correct.
I failed my listen roll.
I failed my general perception.
I forgot I've actually got a button for it.
Okay. So, Andros, a D100 off you, please.
Let's have a look here.
Oh, wonderful.
I see
Wow.
nothing.
The only other person that's allowed to roll is Rhiv, but even if he rolls well, it's delayed. As in, I'm not going to answer him straight away. I just want to know. Okay. Carry on, everybody.
I don't like that. I don't know one bit. You know, maybe we should just leave. No? No one.
It's
No one wants
Yes.
to leave the obviously very, very creepy dead ruins.
I think that's a genius idea.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
should we? Don't think we should be leaving an undead creature behind. Surely not.
Are you saying
What?
you want to kill it?
I'm saying it should be dealt with, or at least possibly dealt with.
Can it be
It's not our
punched? I don't
problem.
know.
We were paid for this. In fact, we should have gone back long ago. We found out what the source of the mist was, the frog folk attacks. We've done our job.
Not wrong.
I'd still be intrigued to know what she wants.
Ask her.
I'm more intrigued about why so many bodies were scattered around this statue and are now bones.
Okay, Traeth, As you're saying that and you're looking at them, you realize that all those pieces of broken bone that you've been standing on have reformed into actual pieces of body, and the whole mass of the room behind you, between you and the rope, is actually now slowly writhing in a mass of skeletal corpses.
Ah.
Ash.
Yes.
You
tapped me on the shoulder a bit like,
I'm gonna leave.
I'm pretty sure we broke bodies down here, and now they're getting back up. Something
getting back.
Undead
Oh.
curse.
I'm just going to put this out there, just as a
We
good
have
thing.
activated. We have activated this, and we need to complete it.
That's fine, but it's been an absolute pleasure. But this doesn't look good, so if you don't mind, I'm just going to scarper a little.
Isn't it going to be a little
unfortunately,
difficult for you to
we've-
get out of here? The
We've
rope is
got,
free.
we've got no exit out at this time.
We've got a
Just to
rope
remind
over
you.
there being held
No,
by
we've got a
Blake.
rope
Yeah,
going
the rope.
the wrong way.
The rope is down
No, it goes up
here.
to Blake.
Yeah,
No.
here.
The rope
Yeah, over there.
over the
Tony.
side of the, not the
I-
stone
I-
side.
Yeah, everybody, hang on a sec. Everybody else, sec. Yes, Andros.
I will pass it down. Try and grab a little bit of cobweb, a little
Yep.
bit of dust as well.
Yep.
Rub them together with my hands.
Yep.
I shall do my incantation,
Right, yeah.
Aphros Arachnistiatus,
Okay.
and I shall leap up the wall.
Right, okay.
The
Emrys.
slide.
Emrys, give me a general perception roll. Why are people moving their figures?
Because we want to get out.
Because we want to get out.
Yeah, well, put your figures back until I tell you. Thank you.
Get out.
Emrys. Right, this is quite interesting. As all this is going on, the gentleman that was basically being stood in amongst you all, making sure that he is protected by the masses of you, starts muttering in a language that nobody understands whatsoever, except for you, Emrys. And it takes you a moment for your brain to jump and register what is being said by Andros. Andros is actually attempting to cast the old forms of magic, the schools of magic as you know, when you used to be an actual real mage before the whole world collapsed and the magic system basically fell apart and old magic stopped working. He is attempting to cast Spider Climb using the old forms of magic. He is taking his components and he is now muttered the words to cast Spider Climb and attempts to leap up the wall, but clearly just bounces off the wall because, as you know very much being a mage of the old world, it doesn't work anymore. But Andros clearly, that's what he's just trying to do, is Spider Climb out of here.
Andros, you've been asleep a little too long, my friend,
The hell, why didn't that work?
because it's broken.
Rope, then.
Yes, we have
You
rope.
mentioned rope.
Going
Yeah.
into the wrong room.
There are two ropes. Yeah.
Two ropes. One's going into the wrong room. One is going out, but between us and out is writhing mass of bones.
Oh, Lord, no, why?
Give us some sort of offering.
Can I run across there?
Yes, you can, if you wish, Lumi. You're going to run across the room. You think you can probably get there in a turn. It's not going to take you long at all. And you are allowed to use all of your defense in getting across the room.
Yeah.
I am now going to show the audience what you're running across.
Oh, no.
So they can see it and you can't.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to come with me.
So,
Has to
Traeth,
die.
wanna come with me?
Traeth is going to rapidly follow behind Lumi, because although she has wings and may very well be able to get up there, a little bit of help or assistance or somebody to step on will make it easier, because she's strong enough to help pull Traeth up.
Lumi is having to spend all of her attention on dodging and trying not to get grabbed by the skeletal mass that's underneath her.
I pick him up and take him with me.
You can go back slightly, pick him up, and then go back across. That's going to be a roll on you to go back, 2 rolls against you for you to go back across carrying him. But when you go back across carrying him, you can't use any defense.
Okay. See how he fares first.
I'll make my own way across.
That's fair.
Okay. What is your quickness defense, Traeth?
More than the average bit. Mine,
Yes.
not that much.
No, I know Lumi's. She's got
Of course.
across.
Yeah, mine is not that much. My quickness defense is a grand total of 10.
I
I
am
can't parry the
rolling
dice.
very low. Yes, I know. So what you're finding, Lumi, you almost dance across the skeletal mass that's there. They're trying to grab you, but your feet are so dexterous. You literally are just jumping from each piece of stone to each piece of stone without them grabbing you. Traeth, you quickly try and just run across as best as you can. And although you feel the skeletal hands clawing against your legs, they don't actually get a firm enough grasp on you at all. And you think almost by luck and following through Lumi's footsteps, you've made it away to the other side of the room.
Are you not doing anything about that wraith that's in there? That apparition?
I'd rather get out.
There must be some reason why a cult...
Can we worry about the reason why after we've dealt with the
Well, the
shambling
reason
nest
why
of
is,
bones?
Rhiv, you've started a ritual. You've
What?
stepped in.
What?
You've stepped through that warding. You've begun something, and you have left prior to finishing it. You need to step back in here.
What, you think that'll stop it?
You need to step back in here. Or this is going to get worse for everybody. You've done this once before. You've destroyed another village. Do not leave and let this lot out to destroy.
I'm going to make a roll,
possibility.
and depending on how it goes, I may or may not attempt to stab you.
And while we're saying this, Andros, I know there's no miniature there for you. That's fine. You can just tell me what you want to do, because it doesn't require a miniature on the board.
I'm kind of stood very close to Ash, hearing this conversation with that look of, I'm with crazy people.
Yes.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. Sane ones left.
Yeah.
Bye!
Yeah.
There's a worrying
He's a
wave.
traitor.
There was a worrying wave. That was a worrying wave. The same ones have left. Bye!
I flick my hammer around to the blunt end and say, I will back anybody up, whatever they want to do. Back, your choice. And I get ready for a fight.
I'm of no use to you, but I'm going to stick with you, Mr. Ash, large gentleman. Yes.
To the huge door.
I shall get you to the rope then.
I thank you.
So at the moment we have Emrys standing in the room, telling Rhiv to get back in the room because it's his fault. We have Ash
Again
offering to escort Andros across the room, but does that mean you're actually going?
I'm asking you, do you want to go to the rope?
Yes. Out of here is probably a good option, seeing as I'm still quite frail.
I shall escort you to the rope.
I thank you.
Tony, could you draw on the map where the ropes come down? Because there's one leading up to the room upstairs that Ash put in, and there's one where Blake is holding.
Yes. So you've got
Can you
one
just
here.
mark them- Can
Yeah,
you just
you
mark
got-
them on the map for us?
Well, you've got one here, so I'm just pinging. Yeah, which goes up to the
That was where we fell.
where you fell,
Yeah.
and then there's
That's
one.
that's my rope.
Which,
yeah,
if I
that's
try
fine.
and move it so that the audience can see that
Left
part
side.
of the room, there's one here. Okay, which
Yeah,
is where
that one.
you are. I'm scrolling it back across so that the audience can see the wraith area first. If Lumi and Traeth, if you want to ascend the rope that Blake is offering to try and support, then, as he says, it's going to be a case of him trying to assist somebody in climbing rather than pulling them up, because it's just him and he doesn't want you to pull him down.
The first person to go up should probably be Lumi. One, she's much better at this kind of stuff. Two, she can climb up me first, and then she's got less rope to climb. And two, when
Sounds
she gets
good.
up there, she'll be able to actually hold the rope secure because she's super strong and awesome.
Sounds cool. And if, Lumi, you have any climbing skill as well, you can make a climbing roll with the assistance of Traeth. If Traeth also gives a strength roll, I'll give you lots of bonuses on your climb. At the moment, you're going to be at plus 50 on your climb because of all the assists, but if Traeth actually manages to roll a very good strength roll, then I'm going to give you plus 75.
Ooh, that's assuming I actually have a strength bonus that is...
But-
no, I don't.
But Lumi can still
Bonus.
fumble, yeah.
When the ref says, but you can always fumble.
Yep.
Yes.
31. There you go. There's your strength check from me. I am not strong.
Okay,
I am
yeah.
basically going to stand there and be climbed.
But you didn't make anything, yeah? You didn't collapse under her climbing you. That's fine. So if Lumi, you want to give me a climbing roll, please, at plus 50. Oh, that's fine. So you, with the assistance of Traeth and Blake, find it reasonably easy to climb up the rope, and pulling Blake down, you get up there. That's going to be it for the end of your go. But yes, once you're up there, you can then start assisting other people up. In the meantime, everybody else now back over to the show of Ash.
Where did the bones start?
The whole
Writhing.
floor is just a mass now of... Even this is the strange thing. You think even if they weren't made up of arms, it's almost like even bits of feet and leg and everything are now trying to sort of like wave around, trying to grab and trip people.
In that case, I'm going to move carefully with myself and Andros behind me. So Andros close to the wall.
Yeah.
And as I walk, it's a case of stamping on stuff, swinging at stuff to stop it from grabbing. I'm trying to keep as firm a footing as I can and not charge across.
Yeah, that's fine. You have a shield.
I do.
What is your quickness defense plus your shield?
A grand total of, shockingly, 40, if I remember correctly. Yes, 40. 40.
Okay.
Armor
so
class 12.
what you're finding as you start going across this chamber, as you start getting into the more thick of the bones, they have grabbed hold of your shield so that you can no longer move the shield. You are still managing to break free, but the other thing you've noticed is they're completely and utterly not going for Andros in any way, shape, or form.
Okay. If I don't have to shield him and I'm thinking, suspicious.
We will come back to that then when you're having a quick think, but you are now talking, maximum of like half a minute sort of thing before I'm going to need to get you to make a decision. But I want to go back to Rhiv and Emrys to decide what they're doing, because Rhiv was about to stab Emrys, if I was right.
Was. To hell with you, old man. And I'm going to try running more or less the same line that Ash has gone, but obviously much faster.
Okay, so you're going to leave Emrys there in the room with the Wraith on his own.
Yep.
Okay, what is your quickness? Defense.
My quickness defense, give me a moment.
By
5.
the way, I need to get you some armor.
Well, more armor would actually make that more difficult.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose. No, I mean like padded jerkin or something.
I can turn his skin into bark. All I
No.
need is a tree, and I need to flay him and then replace his skin with bark.
Wow.
Nice. So what happens is the following.
That'll do.
That's the only way forward.
I didn't say it was a good spell.
Lumi successfully gets to the top, at which point you probably turn around to hold the rope with Blake to assist Traeth. Am I correct?
Yep.
Okay, Traeth, you can give me a plus 50 climb roll.
Yay. I probably
Ash.
still won't get over 51.
Yes.
You have to make a decision of whether you're going to fight and break free your shield or do something clever with your shield.
Well,
And you are about halfway across the room. Before you answer that, Andros, you have to decide whether or not you're going to stay by Ash or whether you're going to continue to flee across the room, since you can see that the skeletons aren't going for you for some reason. And then I'll tell you what happens to Rhiv once you have all decided. So, Traeth, yeah, you need a little bit of assistance. It takes you probably a bit longer to get up that rope than you would like. And at the end of it, you kind of hold on to the rope and they pull you, which is fine.
Yep.
Which is fine. And you can get there. It just takes, maybe like a good 40 seconds, which by the time that happens, the others are probably going to be waiting for the rope. So,
Hopefully.
Ash's decision?
Or dead.
Ash's decision is that I can't actually drop the shield. It's part of the armor.
This is correct.
So I'm going to have to fight. And when I see Rhiv coming this way, but Emrys left behind, I'm going, you can't leave it. And I actually will start to fight my armor shield free while going for Emrys.
You wishing your arm to stay with a shield?
I know I could actually vanish the shield, but they can't take the shield off me, can they? They just got my arm trapped.
But exactly, at the moment, you can't pull your shield free. You could try and fight it free. Of course, we haven't gone down that road yet.
I'm going to fight it free.
Okay, can you please give me an attack?
I'm going to save some of my attack for defense.
You can't really parry these because there's just loads of them. You're literally at a point whereby you're forcing your way through them, or you're smashing the stuff off your shield.
In that case, I shall go full belly. And the roll is that.
Absolutely fine. Okay, yeah, so...
Crushing, bludgeoning, whatever you want to call it.
Yes, that's fine. On a crit of 8, what you're going to do is you're going to smash enough for me to give you a strength roll. So give me a D100 plus your strength. You can give me an athletics check instead. Just give me an athletics roll. Because that incorporates your armor mass as well.
But so as a negative, though.
Yeah, but it gives me an idea of not just you breaking it free, but your overall maneuverability across from where you are. I know that your strength is really high, so I'm not that worried with that. It's just whether or not you're actually going to be nimble enough to make much gain. It's not bad, a 77. So on a 77, yes, you've got enough strength to smash bone, basically, away from your shield. But I am going to get another attack on you before you actually manage to get all the way across. So we'll see what that is going to be now. So I'll do that one.
Do I get a shield bonus on that?
You do. So it's 40. Yeah. So
40 versus 12.
Yeah.
Armor 12.
Armor 12 is very nice. I'll roll the crit as well so that people can see me roll.
Oh, flipping heck.
Yeah. It was nice knowing you, Ash. You were a hero.
That's my arm lost.
Okay. So, Andros, what you see, so you can make your decision, is as you're deciding whether to go or not, you see Rhiv run across the skeleton mass and then fall over and collapse onto the ground, stunning himself. He's not held by the skeletons, but he took a stun. He can probably... We'll check in a minute to see whether he actually breaks that stun and rolls and continues going. But they've tripped him on his move. Ash continued to try and wrestle his shield free. Managed to move about a good 10 to 15 foot before they grabbed his leg, brought him down. Ash is now downed, stunned and able to parry for 2 rounds, and they've pulled the muscle in his legs. He's at -10 on all movements. Ash, you're not there. So let me just, I'll put you where you all are.
That was about, I moved myself 10 foot back.
No, Ash, you're about here when you're down.
Oh, I thought you said I got halfway across the room.
Yes, and then you try to carry on, and then they brought you down.
I went back for Emrys.
Oh, did you? Oh, in that case then, sorry, you were next to Rhiv. So Rhiv has literally gone down, tripped by there. We'll see whether or not you can just roll and get up. You have gone down quite hard by there. I will find a little quick miniature for our guest here. I'll use one of the little...
This is all going very, very, very much Rolemaster.
No, there you go. That's Andros.
What happened? 1 minute we were doing something and then... Ooh,
so
Rhiv did a leg.
Before I get the answer from Rhiv with regards to how well you've managed to cope with going down, I want to know what Emrys' response to all this is. In the room with the wraith.
I have to step through the portal to hear.
Okay.
And with great volume to my voice, I will raise my staff and I will say, Lumine Solis Na! And I will bring the gem to its ultimate brightness and...
God, not this again.
Okay.
Put these undead to rest.
Use, first of all, a point of power, please.
I will use 3.
Oh, I didn't put my flipping sunscreen on this
You're going to put 3 into it?
Oh, God.
Okay. Secondly, are you using...
Do skeletons have eyeballs?
I'm
asking a question.
Tony.
You are using the language of light itself.
Lumine ne solace.
Okay, right. I need you to give me... Now, I know that channeling doesn't work like this, but I want you to make a channeling roll to see how well you control the flow of the energy that you've just unleashed by putting 3 power points into this.
First fumble of the evening.
This could go bad.
Don't go there, Ash.
69. You have a choice, Emrys. You can either hold onto the staff and grit through it, literally in pain and power, going, ah! Or you can try and master the control of this flow. The one of them is going to be a constitution check to see whether or not you can just ride through the raw power that you've just unleashed. The other one is going to be both a reasoning and a self-discipline roll to see whether or not you can stay focused and try and manage it in a less painful manner. What are you choosing?
Oh, it's got to be a con. Got to be a con. With a whispered thought into my mind and through the staff. Well, if this fails, that'll put you back a few decades.
You really don't get a chance to think and be quite so smart as you hoped you were going to be, because all that actually comes out the other end is as the pain is racking through your body and you're just trying to cope with the raw energy on this. You will do yourself 3d10 points of concussion damage.
Oh, that could be dangerous.
This hurts.
Oof.
Oh.
It hurts because the staff, once you release the top power with this much undead around, was going to go into overdrive itself anyway and really push the level of the power up as best it can. You pushing 3 times as much power energy into doing that made it so that it had nowhere to stick the power. It was already expending more power than it needed. It didn't know what to do with the rest of the power either. So all it could do was almost like store it in you until it needed it. As in just pure energy.
Does that mean Emrys has become a spell adder?
You try to yeah, thanks.
Yes. Emrys has become his own spell adder. The staff's the spell adder. The area lights up as though it is the height of daytime. But more than that, it's almost like there's a small sun in the room with you.
Can I go like that with my teeth? Ding.
Emrys does hear in his head, when he's trying to whisper to the staff, a booming voice. You have no idea what it's saying, but you have the feeling, Emrys, as though the big, deep voice that talks to you now and again is commanding the staff to obliterate its children and protect you.
Boy, that bugs it.
Can you roll another 3d10?
No.
So does Emrys' staff look like the one that's depicted on that statue?
You definitely can't look.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is not a nice... It's a lovely roll. Well done. 2 10s. Good job, Emrys.
Okay. Andros, give me a D100 roll, please.
Yep.
That's all undead, dead.
Wow. Well done, Andros. Good
Wow.
job. Nice
Okay.
seeing you.
Worse than me.
Right. What happens is all of you temporarily go blind. You just cannot look in that room.
I'm not looking.
You
at
can
that room.
hear the cry of Emrys shouting above the noises of bones exploding, and then it all goes quiet. And then it all goes dark. Slowly, the light comes back into the room from outside.
Flame.
And
Slowly, you can
and my lantern.
you can open your eyes to see what's going on, even the light that's inside Ash's lantern doesn't quite seem as bright as it used to be. So the lantern itself is trying to recover its own luminescence. Even the sun coming in through the opening up above takes a little while before the actual brightness returns to the room, as though what Emrys has done actually used up all available light in the area as part of its power and absorbed that elemental light into its own process. And it's kind of like a vacuum of elemental that's slowly now seeping back in. All around you, you just see dust where there was bones. There's not even corpses anymore. It's just dust. Andros is at the bottom of the rope, whimpering and crying and holding onto the rope, but he is there.
Is he smoking or smouldering slightly?
The wraith in the other room has gone. Everybody else seems to be fine, although Ash, you still have a limp.
I take it I don't have my stun anymore then.
That lasted longer than 2 rounds. It was just painful for a little while with that amount of bright light. You could feel the sun almost bearing through you that just come from Emrys' staff.
I could see the back of my skull.
You certainly could. Back over to you guys.
I'll keep pulling Andros up.
Andros, I'll help. I can't help much, but I will at least help.
Yeah, he's just whimpering.
Emrys, thank you for that. That was most affectatious, and I think I hurt myself. But it didn't hurt either of us, but killed all the undead. And I point over to Andros. He appears to be smoking and whimpering.
Emrys, you hurt. Everything hurts.
Lumi, stop pulling him up.
No, don't stop pulling me up.
Why?
I
Yes,
have
why?
a nasty suspicion that he isn't
Quite what he
alive.
Mr. Rhiv,
Yes.
does he speak the same language as everybody else around me?
It's slightly imperial, as I said, old empire.
No. Does he make the same sounds as everything else around me? Does he speak the language of life?
Oh, I like that.
Right, okay, I understand what you're trying to ask me now. As a druid, give me an intuition roll.
As a druid, I don't believe in it.
Wow, for some reason I managed to roll 0.
How did?
Did you really roll 0?
I wrote the formula wrong.
Don't worry, we can edit that out.
Yeah, put it out in the edit.
No, it's fine.
75.
Okay.
Effectively, I have
75
one
is a
rank
good
in
number.
the I have one rank in it at the moment as well.
Is that something you want me to just check without saying openly? Okay.
Yes.
2 seconds then. We will take a quick pause, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back in a moment and just have a quick private chat in a different room with Traeth. Okay, and we are back after a little chat. So, Traeth, same receptive. Yeah. Traeth, what? Okay, because you have some very unique languages, it allows you to do stuff with those languages as like a bonus to a ritual of some kind. Mm-hmm. You don't, off the top of your head, have any way of... You have no powers that you are aware of that you've trained in as a druid that would allow you to answer the questions you're trying to come up with. However, you do feel like there's a lot more to Andros than other people. The other people that are around you, you have this natural calm, relaxing feel when you're next to them. The more you're thinking about Andros now as you're pulling him up the rope, or not as the case may be, the more you're feeling that spider senses, the little sixth sense, little hairs in the back of your neck are going, something not quite as relaxing and soothing to Andros that other people are.
I will reach out and offer him my hand to help him up the last part of the rope.
Okay.
No, don't do that.
Okay. You help him up.
No, because as soon as he's let goes of the rope, I throw him so he falls back down.
No!
Okay, Andros, you reach out to have a little bit of help from Traeth, and he lets go of you, basically, the moment you let go of the rope, and you're going to fall about 20 foot straight down. You can make a tumble roll, which is a D100. We don't have your tumble skill for you to roll, but a 71. Yeah, you're going to roll your own crit. Can you roll a D100 unbalancing crit on yourself, please?
Just as a point, as he
You're
falls,
fine. Absolutely fine.
I will look across to Ash and the gang over there, and Necromancer.
Oh dear.
What?
What now?
No.
Oh dear. And I'm
I think it would be helpful if I actually knew what that was. Dump my way out.
I'm already so very tired.
Anybody else want to do anything other than the fact that Trace just called Andros a necromancer?
Well, Rhiv doesn't know what a necromancer is, so he's just going to let the other people sort that out.
Yes, Lumi, he just let him fall down with a bang. He's okay, though. He landed reasonably okay. It's only 20 foot. Oh, no, 20 foot's a long way, but he didn't sprain or break anything.
Didn't fall and hurt himself.
No, he kind of rolled sideways as he hit, luckily. And
I
he's
hurt myself
okay.
for 4 weeks after falling just a foot.
Why did you do that, Traeth?
He's evil. The life with him is not correct. He has dabbled in death.
Yes, he's been alive
No,
for a long time.
no. Things that live for a long time are still alive.
Surely people who live for a long time need at least a chance.
No.
Right.
Oh, Lord, no. There appears to be some presumptions about me from the lot of you, and
Perhaps you would like to
completely alarmed.
shed some light on our presumptions, perhaps, Andros?
Don't
Not
know what
literally.
presumptions are other than he yelled necromancer, and even I remember that bad. Definitely not one of those.
What are you then?
I dabbled in magic. I know a few spells. Well, I knew a few spells after I recently found
Why
out.
didn't these things attack you?
That's a very good question, and that's a question I'd love to know the answer to myself.
Let's find out. Empirical evidence, yes?
We understand what you're talking about, Ash. This will but not take a moment, Andros, and if everything's okay, you'll have nothing to worry about.
Indeed.
Okay.
Would you like a hand up?
Please, yes.
I grab him by the front of the cape.
Traeth, have you got a leaf I could borrow, perhaps, or two?
Plenty.
And I drag him. Well, I walk him over to the ward.
Oh, okay.
And I'll try and assist Emrys over to the rope, seeing as he's on his...
Don't touch me. I'm leaning on my... Don't even go there. We'll talk about this shortly. But at the moment, we're busy, as you can see. And I'm leaning very heavily on myself, and I look a little bit... There's smoke coming out my effing ears.
Yeah, Rivy's going to help him along anyway.
Andros, step through this ward.
If that's what it's going to take, fine.
Okay. So, Emrys, you're going towards the ward with Ash.
I'm waiting for some leaves.
So throw you down a handful of leaves if you're looking for anything specific. I have some.
Okay. So, Emrys, you go to the bottom
leaves.
of the rope and trade with Traeth to try and get some leaves.
Ash,
that
can I
can be
really wait
prepared.
for a moment, sir?
Yeah. In the meantime, Rhiv, you're
I'm feeling a bit
escorting
low.
Emrys a little bit just to make sure that he's okay. Even though he doesn't want you to touch him, you're still
Yeah,
staying
I am
there.
definitely muttering.
That's fine.
Looking at you and
It's an angry old man, it's fine.
It's exactly. And,
Emrys, as I pass them down to you, chew them.
and
slowly.
in the meantime, Ash is escorting Andros across the room on his own. asking Andros to step through the ward.
Yes.
And then Andros, are you going to step in?
I'm going to have a very quick glance over Ash before I step in.
Do you want to talk with me in a separate chat gem thing?
Oh, secret!
And there we go. That
yet
answers the
again.
question.
Okay, so Andros, are you going through the ward?
I will very gingerly step through the ward
Okay. Andros
of my
is
own volition.
Okay, he didn't get pushed in by Ash, but Ash, he has stepped into the room, past the ward.
So, Emrys, how does this ward thing work?
Emrys is nom-nomming at the moment with some leaves, I do believe.
I have got a leaf. I'll raise my hand. I'll go. 1 minute. 1 minute.
Is that how long I have to stay in here?
It appears to be I am no expert in magic at all.
I'll wander over towards because obviously I moved over there.
Yeah. So Emrys and Traeth. Yeah. So
Okay.
Emrys and Traeth. All Emrys had taken was just almost a bit of shock, personal shock to his body. There was no actual physical damage. It was literally just like a stress trauma. The leaves really helped. And I don't need you to make any rolls. We'll discuss how many leaves we actually crossed off afterwards. But you're going to feel a lot better. And even with a little bit of time, because this is concussion, it actually regenerates back very quickly. So you give yourself a little bit of a time to get your bearings back. You choose some leaves.
But I'd like to ask
You're like,
Traeth,
you're fine.
quietly, Traeth, what did you sense from this person?
You shout up the rope.
No, I just don't shout.
Come here. And I crouch down so that I'm leaning over. And I motion for Lumi to crouch down with me so she can hear at the same time.
So
all of you are...
Can I just stop you a minute? Can I just stop you a moment? You do realise it's not 20 foot. It's about the height of your house.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's down the bottom, you're at the top. You are shouting.
Are you up here
you
yet?
could come down,
No.
Traeth. You could come down now. We need to discuss this. I'm chewing on these leaves. Why don't you just come down and bring them to me? Bring the leaves to me rather than toss them down. And we can discuss
I might not
this
get back
quietly.
up again. Can you come up? No. Okay. Fine. In which case, I will go down to...
Blake is like, oh man, like, are people coming up
Blake.
my rope? Are they going down my rope? I don't know how long he's going to last out there with my arrows stuck in him. I mean, I didn't plan on it being like a long session with guys pinned to a tree, but okay, go down, come up, go down.
Okay, West Country this time.
Do you want to
I know.
come down as well and hear this, or do you want to stay up here?
Fine, I'll come down. The wings will come out and
Yeah,
I'll
you just float down.
Yeah.
go
Okay.
up the thing.
I make my way sliding badly down the rope.
Super bad girl, come on down.
Yeah, okay.
I'll go all the way around the room.
Yeah. Lumi from 20 foot, you can glide and land at any point in that room. It's not a problem. It's a natural form of travel for you, so there's no rolls. It's just you glide quite happily across the room and land safely somewhere.
Okay. So, whoosh, whoosh. When Lumi comes back, Lumi, Emrys, and Traeth
Yeah.
together.
Rhiv is also there with you.
I don't know if I trust Rhiv hearing this.
Sort of got all of
Riv is looking after Emrys for some reason.
Emrys across the room, so he's going to be there.
keep glaring at him.
All of you are alive. I can feel, when I'm near you, I can feel the pulse of your life within your bodies. I can feel contentment and part of the druidic cycle of nature and life. The world is a living, breathing, existing organism. It has a pulse. It has a language that you can listen to, that you can hear, that you can feel. It's the language of the druids. It's the true language of life. Yeah. You all have that. All of you exist within that. I thought Andros had that. I didn't look into it initially until I spent time focusing on it. When Ash mentioned it, as he was coming up the rope, I looked at him and how he felt in the whole feel of life. It's why I talk to trees. It's why I have no fear of animals. It's because I exist in the cycle of the life. And he doesn't. He's wrong. His life is not true. It is
it
unlife.
Or
I don't know. It could be that he exists because he feasted on the others within the pods. It could be that he exists because those pods were creating a form of undead within them. I don't know, but it's not right. It's not life. It's not as the world of life exists. He's not part of it, and it's just wrong. Wrong. And I don't say that often about things.
the blast.
Chime in here for a moment. I don't really get all of what you're saying, but important thing is, he's bad, right? Very, very bad. If that's the case,
He's bad enough I didn't want to let him out of the place where he was trapped.
then what are we gonna do? We're gonna kill him? We're gonna leave him here? What are we doing?
Well, if he can step through the ward, then, as Emrys says, he's not undead. He's mortal.
He's just complicated.
Yes. And we give him a second chance. If he can't step through the ward, then he's obviously a creature of an abomination and unlife.
Complicated.
All right, well, I guess we'll go find out.
Like it. And I will chew some leaves. And I'll shake Rhiv off me.
So you're going to walk back across the room to meet up with Ash.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You
In the
all...
meantime, while they're doing the talk,
Yes, of course.
I look to Andros and say, "You're a traveller, you say.
Yes.
What type of magic person are you? Called you a necromancer. What are you?"
I'm not a necromancer. Most definitely not a necromancer. I'm more on the lines of a conjurer.
Don't know what that means.
I used to be able to. I haven't tried it again. Bring things into existence.
So do you know much about magic?
Yes. Though not how it works now. Because
Could you have
that light was interesting.
Could you have been turned into something?
Potentially.
What?
I'd have to have a better look at some notes, or some papers, or some scribings on such a thing.
So you don't know then?
No.
You do realise that if you are undead, I will kill you.
No, I understand that's how things were then as well.
Good. Excellent. I don't want it to be a surprise to you.
No, I appreciate. I also appreciate the clothes. You've been very kind. Thank you.
I believe that you should help people in need, but at the same time, you should put those down that will damage and harm society.
Sure.
As the others arrive.
Yeah, the others have now made their way across the room after their discussion, and you all now stand at this side of the ward.
So you're saying that this ward works by undead or dead things not being able to pass through that barrier this way, yes? Emrys?
That is what is written, Ash, yes.
And Emrys, it's undead, not immortals.
And life, yes.
Fine.
Emrys,
I stepped through the ward.
I gave you a specific thing of what I told you. However, yeah, you'd probably have to spend a lot longer to understand that ward to the exactness. Yeah? You spent literally like a few minutes and you understood it really, really well. But when it comes down to the exact intricacies of that ward, then that could take several days, if not weeks, to really study each part of it.
Are you saying there might be a loophole?
I am saying you have quite a good understanding of how something functions. You don't have the mastery of how something functions. You have a good understanding of how it functions. Yeah, as though anything around you in real life, I understand how a gun functions. I couldn't build one. Don't quite know what happens when it jams. How do I free it? Yeah, so you understand exactly what that ward's doing, but when it comes down to the depths of exactly how it was built and what it was built for, you'd need more.
Okay,
Traeth, what are you doing?
As I said, I just stepped through the ward to be in the other side with Andros.
Okay, you step
Hello
through.
again.
I will follow. Traeth.
By the way, the swirling mists and the wraith of the woman reappears.
Ah. So she didn't get destroyed by your blinding light.
Not this side of the wall. I didn't think so.
And she holds out the hands, looking into the palm of her hands. Yeah, so you're going to leave?
Step back out through the ward.
That's going to be fun. Because I remember the wording.
That's why I need the ref to give me a...
That's why the ref is just looking very strangely for a moment.
Yeah.
I'll
stay on the other side for now.
You're absolutely fine. You walk through.
Okay.
What about Andros?
Andros?
My turn.
Yeah.
I can step out now. Yeah, I'll
Yes.
step out.
Andros steps out.
Oh, there we go.
The only person in the room is Emrys and a wraith.
Right then. So, are we dealing with the wraith now?
You coming out as well, Emrys?
Well, he
I
can
think
come
we
out,
have
but he can deal with the
unfinished
wraith.
business here, don't we?
I think so too. It looks like you get
Something is wrong with you, Andros.
Just can't quite put his finger on it.
You are not alive.
And we can figure it out.
Yes, but now that we don't have to kill him straight away, we can take him away from him.
Yes,
I'm sorry for throwing you down the pit again.
No, I understand. I understand how things work. You can't always trust some random person you find in a tomb somewhere.
You are remarkably insightful for a dead corpse.
I'm pretty sure that's at the top of the list.
So that was like rule 3. Still.
It comes after cardio.
And hammer to the head usually offends.
Yes.
What does this wraith look like, Tony? What is it visage?
You can tell it's female. It has a very female form, very beautiful and elegant female form. The face is heavily shrouded, but you can see still past the shroud that's there and see a very almost like elven beauty that's there in the wraith's face, a female face, very chiseled. She has no body below her hips. It's just flowing. It's just mist at that point. Yeah. Her arms are elegant, and she is holding them cupped. As I said, she has no form of weaponry or crown or other adornment, not even a ring or a necklace. She's very plain beyond that, and she is just looking down into her cupped hands.
Has she spoken at all?
Not a thing.
Are you saying
she when she arrives, you can hear the female voice chanting, "Oh, but when she's actually coalesced and formed, nothing, just pure silence.
Are you saying that she's a free floating?
Speaking in the enchant, what was the language she was uttering in the enchanting? Was it Sylvan?
No, it was some other thing. Yet again, you kind of get this feeling it's something to do with the language on the walls, and there's something niggling in your brain, but you can't put a finger on it.
So again, the language around the walls is something we do not recognize.
There's everybody else looking at it just sees a scroll. You looking at it, there's something that's like almost just out of your grasp, as if you as a player said the right words. I'd probably tell you, but it's just out of your grasp. And strangely, when you hear her arriving, it almost sounds like the spoken version of that written tongue. But there's something about it, you can't grasp it.
You need to play it at 33 and a third.
It is not the chant of making, or it is no.
This is all rather interesting and all, but I do have a bit of a preference. Is it possible I could sit around up there?
Are you
not the giant chamber with the big statue?
Do you have anywhere you need to be?
Does Andros recognize these runes?
Yeah, well, I recognize one or two, but I couldn't tell you what they're for.
What about the writing in the room?
The writings
Is he
on
lying?
the wall.
You can make a lie detection roll if you wish, Rhiv, if you have the skill.
I think I do.
If you have the skill, you can make a lie detection roll. Correct. If you
Oh,
don't
light
have the
perception, I
light
guess that
perception,
was,
yes. If you don't have the skill, you can maybe make an empathy roll, but I mean, no more than you as a real person can tell whether or not Andros is actually telling you the truth in real life.
Oh, very good.
So what we're looking at is a free-floating, full torso vapor.
Class 4.
Class 4.
Class 5.
Okay. And you don't have some kind of fusion reactor on your back, Dave. So
I got a backpack with everything else in it.
Yeah. Emrys, on the other hand.
Both
So,
have
talking
light
about
perception.
languages and runes, he knows if somebody's lying or not.
Holy, I didn't even look at that. Emrys,
Yeah.
136 light perception. Okay, now I'm going to put some words into Andros's mouth here. And that is, Andros is not lying. What you did notice, though, is a very slight, involuntary little giveaway in his body language. When he said that he might know what one or two of them are, you realize that he knows a lot more. He doesn't necessarily know the language. It's just you could tell there was something in his body language whereby he was covering up or not offering all of the information on something. He cut it short.
I think Andros now would be a good time to give us the actual information that you have. My patience is definitely, I'm a little sore, a little tired, and a little fed up.
You know what? I feel the same, particularly after getting burned. How about this? How about we have a sit up top where it's a lot safer and away from the wardy reef thing, which is no end of good.
We need to understand this. There's so much at stake here. Well, you probably know. I have no idea.
This place is awoken. It needs to be.
You are not telling the whole truth of what you know, particularly about that which I asked you here.
Okay, here's a little something. That which you think you've awoken, the thing you think you've awoken, you haven't. It's always been there. It's just been sleeping from the looks of it, waiting for, I don't know, people to turn up.
No, people to do something.
But I most certainly don't have the brevity, and nor do any of you, to do it.
Well, we have the brevity because that is just swiftness. You mean the skill or the items?
Yes.
All of
knowledge and lots of other things.
What does it do then?
Some knowledges are best kept secret.
And some keep you alive.
No, that's definitely not going to keep you alive. I assume that secret's going to kill me.
No, just tell us what it is.
Your nature friend here.
Faster if you don't tell us.
I know, which is should twig something that I'm not telling you.
Will you tell us upstairs?
I will go into it upstairs. But once again, there are certain things that are best left buried and kept secret and never found again.
Right, as Andros says that, Riv's going to withdraw his key and hold it up.
Oh god, he's whipped it out.
Okay, right. Oh my god, this is an episode of pausing and taking our guest into a separate chamber.
I need to go to another room, guys.
We need to take our wonderful guest to another room. And we're back. Carry on.
And what is this, then?
One moment, I nearly threw up in my own mouth. Where did you find that?
I stole it.
You stole it! You are a fool!
I thought he was a thief.
Possibly that too. That's incredibly dangerous. Or at least when I was around, it was incredibly dangerous.
It's a key.
It's a very dangerous key.
And what does it open?
Did he just glance at the door then? Because his eyes went.
There's definitely a bit of a glance towards the
Yeah, you just
wall.
look straight through the wall, then straight into that girl. Rhiv, do the honors.
It's complicated.
Oh, good grief.
No.
Spit it out now.
No, that's not what the key is for. The key has nothing to do with the wraith and the ball and the room. It's a different location.
Yes.
And what does it open that location?
So there's a ward like this, but think bigger?
So if you took the key, then it would likely unleash what was behind it.
Hmm.
Ah, so you did kill everybody then.
Where?
What?
What location does this key open?
Ah, right. It wasn't that location. You're right.
No, it's not this way. I don't remember the specifics of where it is.
Would you
What a
say it was
damn
buried
question.
a very deep distance underground?
Yes.
Ah, so when
And
did,
it's a lock of some kind that the key would
Yeah.
open.
when
a
did you
lock
steal this
that a
with?
really good thief might be able to open.
Yes. Particularly one who stole a key he shouldn't have.
No, before stealing the key.
Hmm?
Would he have been able to open the lock before he stole the key?
No.
Right.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Magic has gone from the world. Anything that was magic is not
Okay, yeah,
gone.
fair point. I have no idea at the moment. I assumed whatever was behind them might have been dealt with by now.
No.
Fingers crossed. No.
Really.
No.
What is it?
Oh,
How about we go up top, we have a little sit down, and I can at
You
least
have
tell you
to-
what
you have
might
to
be
this
behind
here,
there.
don't you?
Riv will take out his
You'll say,
crossbow
for
and aim it at
example-
Andros.
You
Let's-
kill me, you lose the information, boy.
Yes, we are quite aware of what we will lose.
Let us go upstairs,
Wait,
sit
what
down,
did
have a
Riv
chat.
Sorry, I missed that, Lumi.
Riv doing? Pointing the
Just took his
crossbow
crossbow
at.
out, that's all.
Okay. Is he pointing it?
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
let's put it this way: if he's pointing it at Andros, Andros is perfectly safe.
Everybody else, everybody else, however, is now very nervous.
If he is pointing at Andros, I'll step him in.
Oh, very nice, Lumi.
Let
Lumi stands as a barrier between the crossbow and Andros.
I like this one, she's sensible.
Let us all calm down. Let us make our way out of here for the moment. We'll come back down and Emrys can do his thing if he needs to, and I shall back him up. But let us get out of here, and that appears to be the only way that we're going to get any person. Then we shall do that. Okay?
Sorry, Blake, we're coming back up now.
Indeed.
Okay, just because obviously this session is going on.
Overrun.
What we
Yeah.
can I wanted to carry on while we still got Ryan here. Let's get this done. So when you're going to have a chat with him, where do you want to have a chat with him? I'll just say you've all got to that location. Are you talking upstairs? You talking in your house? You talking in the swamp? Where are you talking?
Oh, just upstairs. We're not taking him back.
Just upstairs. Okay, fine.
He's not coming out to the swamp. Is that what you
Yeah.
said?
Yes. If necessary, he's going to be under a log somewhere.
That's fine.
So, sunlight. Actual sunlight, not staff sunlight.
Which was sunlight. Proper sunlight.
Real sunlight.
The worrying thing is, did the staff actually dim the sun, or did it just dim our local area?
The sun. No, his staff is not good enough to take it the sun. However, if you were to ask Blake, which I'll just say you did, he will say that the area at the entrance to this place did cast under shadow almost for a while, even though there seemed to be a very bright light from within. Outside seemed to become overcast slightly.
So,
I start handing out the water skin which has beer in it, and some cheese and ham to everybody.
I will go and have a look at the guy pinned to the tree by both his arms.
Yeah, he's been forced to basically sit down with his arms out on a log, and then Blake has shot an arrow through each of his hands, pinning him in that position. Can't move, but he can just basically just lay there with his hands pinned.
But Blake didn't catch any arteries or anything. He hasn't
No,
bled out from them.
he's been very precise with his shot. He is absolutely fine.
Okay, maybe I need to learn some bow skills from Blake.
Andros, spill it.
Okay, so you've come across something kind of interesting, and you have the bloody key of all things. The ritual inside there. Mm-hmm. The bowl with the shadowy figure behind it.
Yes.
Okay. That's a really dark ritual. Very dark. We're talking abomination and life level of things.
Right.
Mm-hmm. These things get taken somewhere else. Once created, unlocked behind an even more secure door deep underground. With
Really?
more wards than that.
I'm looking at towards Rhiv when he's saying this.
You have the key.
I sense there's more here that you're not quite saying, Andros.
There's definitely more. Once again, I stand by, and particularly you, a man of nature, for what I can tell, must understand there are certain things that cannot be known, because they are dangerous if they are.
Things
Like
have
how to
changed.
do the ritual, maybe?
Things have changed.
Yeah.
We are
Stuff like
not
that
where we were, Andros.
is not as...
We are a place out of time.
It's true. I'm not even sure if the ritual would work anymore, but I don't know enough about this time to make that decision.
Why would you have some sort of this? What did the term used? Necromantic aura about you? Why would the undead avoid you? Why would his light hurt you? Have you been turned, or is there some form of this energy in you?
It's very, very complicated.
Uncomplicated by speaking simply.
Okay. Very well. I don't know exactly what I am, but I think it's to do with those tombs I was put in.
That is simple and what we already assumed.
I was as surprised as you were when the skeletons weren't going for me.
With all your knowledge, can you guess what you might be, or what has happened to you?
I can guess, but it may be very far away from the truth.
Go for it then.
Okay. I'm a thrall, maybe? As a guess?
What's that?
Uh,
That usually means enslaved to somebody else.
Enslaved individual beholden to something. Or
Yeah, that's what a
something.
thrall. That's I got that term. Thrall.
no. He's completely right, but more on a supernatural level of I have the power of something else that I don't quite understand because magic doesn't work, and I still feel very weak and feeble.
What would you be enthralled to?
That's a good question.
Do you crave anything?
No, though. You can have your leaf back.
I don't think I want that leaf.
It's probably not much use for other people to chew to heal them.
No.
So not much use for you chewing to heal.
Does that make you undead then?
Yes and no.
The important word here is the yes part, because that means you're going to die.
So, let's do a little experiment, shall we? Who here has any form of medical knowledge?
I'm very good at doing autopsies.
Ah, that's good to know. I'd rather not have one, but I'm guessing you know how to feel a pulse?
I do know how. I am trained in first aid.
Wonderful. Then feel free to check my pulse.
I check his pulse.
Andros, do you have a nice pulse?
I have a nice, slightly weak pulse.
Slightly weak, probably about right. I think stabbed, malnutrition, been in there for a long
definitely.
Time. Steady, but a bit weak.
I slap him. Just smack a straight, and then feel his pulse.
Okay.
Yeah, fairly weak, slightly jolted pulse.
Just as a side point, I will watch him for a few seconds after he's been slapped.
Okay.
You're looking for a reaction?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He reacted like a man being slapped.
Nah, but has his skin gone red from it?
Has your skin gone red from it?
Yeah, a little bit of pink where I've been slapped.
Okay.
Okay, this is silly. He is just a man. Something has clearly happened to him, but he is still just a man.
It's very true. I used to have magic, and now I don't. And this is not great.
There is something else about him, but I cannot
Everything in the
prove it.
world has changed.
He needs help.
He needs a
I
second
do.
chance.
Indeed, he does.
Whatever he did that put him in the flesh pod of torture.
Yeah.
Needs to come up with a better name. It's clearly long ago in the past. And in this crazy new world we're living in, undead, yes. Unalive, no.
I think that's more apt.
Flesh cataplex.
There's probably a better term for it, yes, Ash.
I like the term Andros.
Not you.
No, not you, the thing you were put in.
Oh, that thing. Flesh sarcophagus?
That's what I just said.
Hmm.
Flesh cataplex. I knew what I said.
So, anyway, we need to get back to what are we going to do about this ruin? We can't have anybody else going down there now with the statue exposed and the warding.
Can I make
accessible.
an engineering roll, Tony?
Yes,
To bring it down?
and I think we can all now safely take this to the next episode, folks.
Okay.
I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you all enjoyed your encounter with Ryan. We can take it between this session and next session exactly what we're going to do with Ryan's character and
With Ryan's corpse.
and how many other potential episodes he could return in. And thank you all very much. Thank you very much, audience. I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you enjoyed meeting Ryan. Don't forget to watch his show from the Fumble folks. And all the thieves.
Rogues Gallery.
The Rogues Gallery.
Rose Gallery, yep.
And
Thank
don't forget, guys, do the YouTube thing down below.
Press the buttons,
Like,
tick the bell,
like,
do the
subscribe.
likes, subscribe,
Like you like
the
to
bell.
think
send it to your
something wrong.
friends,
Make a comment.
send
to ring that
comments,
And
Thank you
don't
all.
forget to count all your toes.
and don't forget
Thank
to
you
click
very
on
much
those.
for watching.
Bye.